Welcome to the Masterclass in Croatia of 2026. Okay, I'm a bit behind. Okay, so we are here at Andreas Zokic's garden, world famous, and we have chosen quite a few trees here to work on in the next 1 or 2 days. And we produce a few videos. Now, every work on the tree takes a long time, much longer than most people think. Often it takes several days. Now, you cannot have a video for several days. So what's really important in the styling of a tree? Many beginners who are not so familiar with this will be very surprised. It's the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes. In between, maybe hours and days of work. And most people think the work is the key thing. No, it's the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes. Why is that? Because in the first 5 minutes, the decision is made where to go. It's simple. No, it's not simple. It's very complex, especially with complex collected trees. There's thousands of different possibilities. To choose the best one, almost impossible. To choose at least a good one, very difficult. However, that is crucial because from then on you do a lot of work. In the very end, when the tree is almost finished, there's a few details to be changed, and many people would think the tree is done after a day. No. In the last 5 minutes, a few little changes can make a world of difference. Make a very good tree a world-class tree. Now, you may say, well, that's not a big deal. Well, that's like in sports. The difference between being a normal sportsman or a world star may be 1/100th of a second, okay? Because you didn't win the gold medal. So a very small change in a tree can make a big difference. Anyway, let's start with this Oriental Hornbeam that Jennifer has chosen, right?
Correct.
Or was it imposed onto you?
No, I chose this.
And you had some time to already look at this and speak about it. Let's first ask Andrea, you collected this?
Yes.
When did you collect this?
It's collected it's one growing season behind this tree.
One growing season? Yes, okay.
And it's healthy. It's always healthy.
We asked that because sometimes people think, oh, this is a wonderful tree, I can work on it. But you have to know that the tree has a difficulty to survive if it's just recently collected normally. So you always must ask the question. Okay, that looks quite healthy, so we can do a lot of things to that. So can you tell us what?
I forget that it's 2 seasons.
2 seasons. Okay, even better. Even better. As advice for beginners, wait longer than you think before you start working on collected material. Okay, now it's your turn, Jennifer. What have you seen on this tree so far?
Well, it is a fabulous raft. It's also a very interesting tree because it's not conventional. It's not your very traditional tree, but it very much reminds me of the trees that I see here in Croatia when we are, driving down from Munich to down the coast. And so what I love about this tree is all of the movement. And, we have this very long kind of extending branch that goes all the way out. So there's various options that you could do. I think my ultimate inclination is to leave this as a raft and, probably put this on a long slab.
Ah, super.
Which I know will make you happy.
Okay.
Okay, so if we put that on a long slab, we could also put some substrate in here so that this will actually root, and now it will almost look like it's kind of crawling. The other option would be, of course, to find a more traditional pot for the tree, and then, this very kind of dramatic branch going off would actually almost hang out of the pot. The next thing I want to do is talk about the angles. Do we want to tilt the tree at all? For example, okay, if we bring that up, now the tree all of a sudden has a little bit more height. Or we could obviously go the opposite way and bring this side up, and then it would almost kind of cascade out the other side. The challenge with this tree is the height. Everything is pretty much ending all at the same plane of movement up here. So there's very, very little differentiance in the height of each individual tree. And so that's the main thing that I'm going to try to do, Walter, is ultimately decide who is the tallest and kind of work all of these almost as sub-trunks. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Could you explain sub-trunks to new people that don't know that terminology?
Well, this is a multi-trunk tree, and you can see 1, 2, 3. This is a monster multi-trunk trunk, and then you see these branches, what people would call branches, going up here, and then we have learned that branches should not go up, should be more horizontal. And my answer to that is, that's not a branch. This is a main trunk, this is a sub-trunk. There's another sub-trunk, here's a sub-trunk. Here is little sub-trunks. So the main trunk starts out and divides very quickly into several sub-trunks, which then again have sub-trunks, and primary, secondary, and tertiary sub-trunks. And that all together makes a group which fits together. And from these sub-trunks, more or less horizontal or even down, come these little things, and these are the branches. So that's a concept which I have not just made out of blue air, but this is by watching nature. In nature, a forest grows, a very old natural forest would grow like that. And this is what we try to copy here, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is obviously the front because it's open and everybody thinks that this is the front. I have learned very early that you never just take a front because that's open and you and a quick decision. You always look around and turn the tree around. Why would I do this? Especially because this goes away from me, and from the other side, this goes towards you. What's the difference? Okay, if I go away from you, I look like what, huh? Like a North German. If I do this, I look like a Tyrolean. Okay, South German. So, insider joke. Okay, so anyway, but then of course there's a lot of stuff here. Well, it's obviously not the front. Well, maybe we do this. Okay, or how about cutting out this, for example, taking this out. And if you look here, Jennifer, if you just cut out this tree, you could definitely make this a new front and may have a radically different one. Mm-hmm. Maybe you still like the other one better.
I like the base on the other side better.
Oh yeah. I agree, and probably the other side will be the front.
Yeah.
But you understand, we are now questioning this, and we very often you all of a sudden you redecide, and that's perfectly okay. In my way of styling these kind of trees, you're never so sure. You're only 90% sure of what you're doing, and you're always questioning the next step, and even the front may change during your styling. In Orthodox styling, it's totally forbidden, but we don't do that because we are styling a natural sort of forest section, and there is no front in the forest. Everywhere is a front. Wherever you are is a front. Okay, so now we have some vague idea of where we're going, and we know it's going to be good. We know that. But so now what exactly are we doing now? Are we now starting to wire or what?
No, I'm starting with my homework, which is, again, once I kind of turn it around, decide on possibly a front, then I'm going to start taking out anything that is obviously dead in here, cutting that out, and sort of deciding maybe the number one sub-trunk. I will decide the height of it, and then I will begin, to start. Each individual tree will get trimmed and then eventually wired and positioned into place.
So can I ask one question? beginner facing this kind of material can face the challenge that there is too much going on and there is two branches. What will be your, let's say, recommendation for somebody who is not so experienced and is facing this kind of challenge of too many branches? What we should do? What the workflow?
So no matter what kind of tree you have, if it's a deciduous, conifer, tropical, you always start number one with the base, because you really cannot change this. You know, technically we can change anything up here. I can cut something out, I can move something, I can wire it, I can bend it, shape it. But once I kind of set on where I think the initial front is going to be, then I start with what is obvious and needs to be edited, one thing at a time. So, you know, I need some, if this is, for example, going to be my front, I do need some depth branches. But I start just with simple homework and saying, okay, is this going to be a future branch? You know, am I going to root this? Do I want it? Should I cut it out? So slowly, very slowly, I start on one section, and then I take a step back and look at it, come back again. And so by creating negative space, by editing out slow, eventually you start to see the finished tree.
That's like running a marathon. If the beginner says, I have to run 42 kilometers, he says, well, I cannot do it. Well, it's very simple. You can run from here to the door, can you not? You can from the door to the other door, okay? So, and if you continue that, then you, so it's like here. That's way too much for most people. I mean, too much work, and you have no clue where to start and what to do, but start somewhere, okay? Start right here, okay?
What is dead in there?
Yeah, what's dead in there, I take off first, okay?
Yes.
Then I maybe clean this. Then I may think of shortening this or thinning it out. And then at one point, I'm not so sure what to continue to do. And then you stop here. Then you take this one. And then all of a sudden you're through, and for some reason it looks good. But it's a lot of detailed work. But concentrate on what exactly you're doing here, and don't get overwhelmed by the whole task. That's way too much for most people. Do this first, then do this, then do this, and do this, and one day you will be finished. That's how you do this sort of thing.
I think you said when people get overwhelmed, you know, and they see the entire tree and they're not looking at the slow steps of what you just said, of running that marathon, of building up to that. Exactly.
Okay, Jennifer and Benedikt, you worked hard on this for several hours. Tell us about the result.
You start.
Okay. We had a fabulous base, and we wanted to really highlight what nature had given us here. And so we chose this as really the viewing side. And then we wanted to really work with all of the movement of the individual trunks of this tree, so that everything is really following kind of this rhythm of kind of going in and out and in and out, so that it has all kinds of zigs and zags. We tried to take out any straight lines within the tree, and then also bring the tree together so that it didn't look like two separate pieces, but it actually, you know, came together as one. Benedikt?
Yeah, the problem with the styling was at the beginning there are too many areas which are really too dense, and so we cut out many branches and subtrunks, so it looks better. And also we use some guy wires to bring the other subtrunks or branches in the correct spot, correct area.
Okay. So I see you work a lot with these guy wires. Why would you not wire this and bend it like the orthodox way? Why would you use guy wires?
It looks a little bit better with this smaller wires, and also it's a little bit less work.
Yeah.
And also the sub trunks and the trunks all have enough movement, so
Yeah.
it's only
It
necessary
wasn't-
to
It's
put.
not necessary,
Yeah,
right?
it's-
I
yeah.
mean,
Okay.
Also, we're not breaking branches by accident
Okay.
when we're wiring. We're simply putting things into planes of movement.
Okay. I would say that this looks pretty cool, but of course it's obvious to everyone who has done bonsai for a while that you will never ever get this in a pot like that. So there is no pot. I mean, you would have to, the pot usually you choose according to the nebari, the main roots. So what do you do about this?
Slab,
Yeah.
right?
A slab? No,
I mean, it's obvious.
I call this artificial stone. A slab is a flat thing.
Flat thing.
And you speak about something which looks like a landscape. That's an artificial stone, okay? And you can custom build this, and this looks just like a stone, a real stone. Very well done. You couldn't see the difference, okay? It's done with epoxy usually, and that looks like a rock being here, and the tree looks like it always grew on that rock. Very natural. It only works if the tree looks very natural, like a real tree, not like a bonsai that is more a fabricated, artificial tree, more like a tree that really grew like that. Then you put it on a rock, and it looks credible and cool. Yes, and that's going to be very easy. We just need somebody to build that rock, and we take it out of that thing here and place it on it and put substrate on it, and it's done. In 20 minutes, that's done. Okay. How do you see the future of that tree?
Super,
Super.
yeah.
I understand.
You will keep it, maybe now? You will sell it?
Well, I think it will be keeper.
Keeper?
I have the feeling that you were quite excited about this tree.
Yes.
You desperately wanted to do exactly this one.
Yeah.
Okay. And Benedikt, your first show on the Masterclass here, and you had a lot of fun working
Yeah.
with her?
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah.
Okay, super. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.